It's been exactly a year since we first laid eyes on our cabin in the Italian Alps west of Turin. We've been making lots of plans and we'd like to share some of them.
Okay, this is the drive that takes us from the town of Torre Pellice up to where our cabin is. And this is where you end up at the ridge of this hill after 27 switchbacks. This lovely chapel you see out here has been here forever, as I understand. And this is the view across this meadow, across the Cottian Alps. And up here, up this way, is where our cabin is, where Linda is standing. Hey, Linda.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is where our little road splits off the main road. And this beautiful house next to us, I can't wait to see what our new neighbor does with it. It's got this massive retaining wall that just frames a beautiful backyard. And our road kind of follows that retaining wall down. So we're hoping maybe we can collaborate on fixing our little road because we're parked up here for a reason. But from here and from our meadow right over there, we can see all the snow-capped peaks. So we have a preview of what our view will be when we have a few more trees out.
So on the other side of the ridge, and this is not quite our property, is this kind of a view. And we're looking at an area, that whole hillside there is Angrogna. And I don't know who owns it. I don't know who owns any of this stuff. There's absolutely nothing in the immediate vicinity of this ridge, no structures. And we hope maybe one day to put a little bench right here or maybe over here somewhere with a nice view of Angrogna. It's really lovely over there. This is like fly season. Goodness gracious. Okay, so here's the drive that you will come down to our place. And you see the other a glimpse of the burnt out ruin. That's just been purchased by a British couple, I think, we're told. So you come over
And
here.
here comes Lino.
Here comes Lino, our neighbor. So we'll get off to the side of the road and don't get run over. But here's a glimpse of our house right here.
We'll chat with Lino. You might want to just pause.
Yeah, I will.
Because we're going to have to say goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's a first glimpse, and we'll be back. Okay, standing here, crossroads. You see the drive behind our house to the right. You see the terrace right here. And then up over here is the meadow behind our house.
There's an amazing view from up there, even better than the terrace.
Yep. I think our property extends right up to where the tree line is up there.
No one's quite sure, but we'll figure it out.
And way over there is Monte Vandolino, which is the highest peak in this parts. We had a few trees taken down just a short while ago.
More to come.
More to come. And there's Linda's hydrangea.
Oh, that new growth. Look at that.
From June.
From June.
So our first plant. Let's see how this guy does over the years.
He's looking good so far.
Okay, here's the house. Our Baita entrance. What else would you say about this, Linda?
Our sketch little kitchen made out of scraps we found.
And what are we looking to get out of this house?
Oh, well, there's the grotto, which they would say grotta.
Which is through that door.
Which is through that door with the arch inside. That we're going to make the door wider so the arch is exposed and have a little fountain and ferns and things as part of the walk up to our front door.
Right. And that right there is the entrance, more or less. And this little cluster of windows over here is going to get consolidated into one large window and provide a new door onto the terrace over here. Altogether, we have just under 90 square meters of conditioned space when this is all over with. So a tiny house. A couple of, well, a bedroom, a living area, kitchen, and a second sort of a living den space that can double as a second bedroom.
And a second bath tucked off the kitchen.
Right.
And our balcony. This
And a
balcony will
balcony
be
right here.
restructured.
Right here is the future or current
Past and
balcony
future.
that'll be restored to be usable as a future balcony. And terrace right here. Hopefully a wall that'll be rebuilt along the terrace edge. And we have a lot of land going downhill. Altogether, just about 3 acres. So I'm going to approach this grotta, which, Linda, you may want to talk about your aspiration for this
So
lovely
almost all
space.
of these bottles we found on site because I guess it's too much trouble to take your glass down the hill. But I'm planning to save them and use them for a bottle wall or candles or something. Have some sort of water feature, some sort of sculpture, just make it special.
So you can see the arched opening here, all stoned. And we'll make this a lovely little spot of water and maybe
Moss, ferns,
yeah,
lights, sculpture.
very cool. And just to the left of that is your grand entrance. That's also about, barely 6 feet tall. Coming through here. So this is the State of the Union here. That, you're looking at the future kitchen wall. Up above, this low ceiling we're going to take out. So you're going to be able to get all the way up to that next ceiling. I believe this is about 14 feet when all is said and done. And right here will be a new stair that gets up to the space above the grotta.
With the balcony.
With the balcony. This wall over here is going away, we hope. So this room and this will connect to make our living space. Same thing here. We're abandoning the second floor, so it's going to be a single story here at roughly 14 feet high. And look at this. We have some dates. Look at that.
The oldest one is 1708, and then we have something in the 17 teens, and this is the most recent one. So we don't quite understand why the middle of the house was built later than the ends, but maybe we'll be able to figure that out.
Yes.
If they had 2 parts and then connected them, who knows?
So here, if I turn around, once we get all these different openings consolidated, you'll have one large opening with view of this. And we're also looking forward to some more tree removal so that we can start to see the top of the snow-capped mountains beyond. So today is the 19th of September, and yesterday we had the first snowfall of the season. So they're all new snow on the faraway peaks. So over here we have 2 other doors. I think, let's see, I'm forgetting here. Okay, this door over here goes into a room, our only room currently that has a floor. It's got a stone floor, pretty rough, and a door and a window. That's our only sort of habitable room. And that's going to become the primary bedroom. And the door is going to go away and be replaced with a larger window. And I think this window is going away completely. But over here is sort of another room currently, but it's pretty sketch on the inside, and with things falling down.
I'm going to open the door.
Okay. So the door will eventually become a door that goes into our primary bathroom, and the window will be replaced with new. But that's basically our bathroom. And currently, you just don't want to walk into this thing without hard hat. In fact, you don't want to walk into this thing much at all. It looks completely dilapidated.
This whole giant beam with all the wood on top is held up by a little stick of an old lawn chair.
There you go.
It's like a toothpick.
So there's some demo and debris clearing that somebody will be doing for us sometime soon, I hope. But this room will go away, And right here will be the future primary bath. And behind it, we'll have a little bit of a closet. And then the rest of it going that way will be a shop storage area. Let's come back out here to what would be the future bedroom that today is our storage. So we're heading out this afternoon, and everything that we've used to glamp and camp here, we've stored away in bins and put a tarp over it, so they're hopefully going to stay dry and safe in here. And that's our little solar battery slash webcam and Wi-Fi router setup. And we got a little leak in this room, so a bucket system for drainage. And right out here, again, same view. I think this is why we're here, right here.
Yeah.
It's incredibly quiet.
You can barely hear the cowbells in the distance.
But other than that, there is just no sound. There's a little bit of background noise from the river down the valley, about 700 meters down the valley, that you can still hear way up here because there's just no other noise. It's wonderful. So we're getting to the last part of the Baita, which is this last little section right about here.
There's the 1708 block.
Let's see, where is
This
the
is the oldest
1708
one.
block? Here, right here. Right there. So maybe one day we'll do some more sleuthing and see if we can piece together some plausible timeline. But this last section is structurally unsound, we're told. So we're going to take it down, and we're going to remove it down to about where I'm pointing here. So a low wall, basically a ruin of sorts, and then leave the center open and make it into an outdoor courtyard. We're taking all of the stone from the roof down and putting it as pavers for this future courtyard. And if you come around this little debris field of stones and such, at the very end, have what we will eventually make into a little wood storage shed. What would you call it?
Legnaio.
Legnaio. Okay, you're better with that.
It was a wood storage shed to begin with, so we're keeping it as such.
And I think we just like the idea of keeping the remnants of this as a ruin. So we might keep this very low door.
Yeah, we'll keep the door for sure.
We'll keep the door and that wood lintel across it.
But above it will be open to the sky.
That's right. So everything from here up, we're taking down. And so there'll be a low door and some low walls along here. And this guy's staying, and we'll continue to use it as a wood storage. Because there's a lot of wood, and there's a lot of...
We have a lifetime supply.
We have a lifetime supply of wood, and we'll have a wood stove. So this is a look back across our terrace, and this is looking pretty much east, I guess, southeast. And it's a very cloudy day today, so not great views. Okay, here's one thing that we salvaged. This thing's been, we found it leaning up against the building when we came here, and there's some other pieces of scrap wood around it, completely infested with termites, it turns out. So cleaned that out, and we moved it from about right there to here, shored it up with some rocks, and did a little sketch kickers back here, right here. Yeah, works pretty well as a bench.
Yeah.
So staring out at the
future view.
The future view.
I can see it through the trees, but you probably can't on film.
Okay, now we're standing in the meadow above our cabin, whose roof you can see right there. Looking all the way across a couple of valleys, way out there in the midst of all the clouds is the peak Monviso. And over here near to us, to the west, is Monte Vandolino. But we're hoping that sometime in the near future we'll clear enough trees directly in front of the cabin that will free up this kind of a view from our terrace.
And we'll make a little deck or something up here where we can sit and enjoy this view with our aperitivo.
That'll be wonderful. Ah, very nice.